All right, we're going to do a quick shooting review of this Anderson here. This is actually the Anderson utility model. And I'm actually kind of giving this a little send-off because unfortunately for me, a lot of people talk down on the Anderson brand, but Ruger has acquired Anderson, and just as I feared, they are deleting the brand because they're basically they bought out their competition and they're not going to continue producing Anderson rifles. Ruger already makes their own ARs, so Anderson is no more. You can still find these out there new, but it's going to be, once they're gone as far as attaining them new. I love Anderson rifles. I've always been on a really tight budget all my life, unfortunately, and this is my poverty pony here. Of all the cheap, bottom of the barrel, poverty tier AR rifles that I've used over the years and owned, Anderson has been the best for me. I'm not going to go into extreme details, but I used to do a torture test. You know, I'd get them and just run them straight out of the box and run them, never clean them, let them get very dry, very dirty. And the Anderson for me was the only one that kept on kicking no matter what. After a few years and over 1,000, 2,000 rounds, I finally did clean the thing, but I did that intentionally to see which one I could count on. And I had several other brands around the same tier not make it. One of them started jamming up, and the other one actually, the bolt seized up on me and I had to hammer it loose, but never had an issue from Anderson. Yeah, I'm actually getting kicked out of the range here. We was here the other day a little too late, and I'm being told I got 15 minutes, so I really got to wrap this up. Anyways, I love Anderson. Best budget rifle you can get, in my opinion. Never had any issue out of mine. They shoot pretty good for what they are. I'm going to use my Gunner Odin here. Absolutely love this LPVO. Been using it across the board. Love it. We got to get her zeroed there real quick at 20, and unfortunately I don't have time to shoot groups for you. I can tell you, when we were out here the other day, we was just shooting PMC M193 55 grain. This is a 1-in-8 twist, so it would prefer a little bit heavier ammo. 55 grain, probably not its most favorite, but I was grouping while sighting in a different optic on there. 1-inch groups at 50 yards, which would translate to 2-inch groups at 100, and that's with just your generic bulk 55 grain stuff. So 2 inches at 100 yards for something like this is pretty dang good. It would probably like my hand loads here even better. These are 62 grain. It might like some 68, 69 grain stuff even better. I'm thinking you could probably get this to shoot sub MOA with the load it likes. Well, let's get a quick zero on here since I'm getting kicked out, and then I got my 16-inch gong out there at 300 yards. We'll wrap that real quick. And I've had no problem shooting my Andersons out 500 yards, so again, the reliability has been awesome. Mine never, ever jammed up on me. I've also owned one in 7.62 by 39, and other than the very first mag, running steel case ammo, that one's never, ever jammed up on me. And my buddy, who's retired military, used to build these, and he's the one that actually recommended these to me. He said that's what he prefers. Again, with them being reliable and accurate for the price and everything, so I absolutely love my Andersons. Let's hurry up and get this zeroed. Alright, so left dot, the two touching in the red there were my last two shots. I think we're a hair right. Probably could stand to come up a little bit. I'll do that real quick, and then we're going to reach out to that 16-inch gong out there, 300 yards. So this is the one little group I mentioned earlier that I was able to sneak into the video. This was filmed the following day. And with that sun being right in my lens, it's not very clear and focused and great looking down there, but I wanted you guys to see these shots real quick, and then I'll go down and show you up close. So yeah, I was moving all over the place. When I was holding the dot here, I could see like my heart rate moving around about this much. So I had up to an inch of movement. So you could just about, you see how they're mostly left and right? Like the up and down variance is almost perfect. Every time my heart would beat, it's like, and That's why we have this left and right variance here. But that's still only about 2¼ inches there. That's perfectly acceptable for a battle rifle with just generic ammo, but it would have done better than that had I had a more proper setup and my heart wasn't beating as high as it was and whatnot, causing me to move left and right. So you could probably just about cut an inch of movement out of that was caused by me, make this group a lot tighter. So that's pretty good for just some generic 62 grain FMJ hand loads there at 100 yards. So yeah, I'm pretty confident this thing would shoot sub MOA groups less than 1 inch down here if you find the load that it likes the most, possibly several loads. And I wanted to expand on that a little bit. So this is a 200-yard mound, and there's a little clay pigeon up there. As you can see, it's actually like half a one. It's not even a whole clay pigeon. But I made sure to make a really good shot on this. Waited for my heart rate to slow down and all that, and squeezed through nice and slow on the trigger. And the bullet literally went like a few millimeters right under it. It kind of picks it up and tosses it just off to the left a little bit. And this was first shot and first attempt, by the way. If I'd taken a second shot, I just would have aimed an inch higher and busted the thing. She's down there. And obviously I'm not trying to be super accurate or anything. I'm just launching them down there. Yeah, and wasn't going for a group down here. I was just launching them down, but there's all the hits, and I hit the hook with one of them. Well, that new target's ringing good. I contacted Mark at Shooting Target 7, which is who I've been dealing with for my steel targets for years. Sent me a new gong. That thing's ringing nice. I abused the old one. It's only a 1/4 inch steel, shooting it at 100 yards with much larger calibers, and I'm surprised it survived as long as it did. But yeah, absolutely love these things. You cannot go wrong with Anderson, in my opinion, especially if you're actually looking in that price range, which, I mean, these things shoot phenomenally for what they are. So it's kind of last call if you still want to be able to get a new one, because after a bit it's just going to be the used market, and these things are so affordable now. But appreciate you guys stopping by and checking this one out. If you want to get yourself anything you see me use in my videos, like my target stand there, paper targets I use, steel targets, earmuffs, safety glasses, rangefinder, and way more, all that's linked under the video. For things I cannot link to on YouTube, be sure to check out my campsite page, which is also linked under the video. If you have experience with Anderson, leave me a comment down below. But again, thanks for stopping by, checking this one out today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one.